Thank you, Srinivasanji, and all the esteemed analyst of Bhagavad Gita, Singapore. Well, first of all, let me begin with saying that all the scriptures, irrespective of any religion, talk about the utopian idealism which a human being is capable of. That is the most significant thing. So if you go through the verses of Bible, or for that matter, any scriptures from any religion, would certainly keep the sanctity of humanity at the most privileged and honor spectrum which the Almighty Himself pervades through. So any matter of sanctity cannot be woven without the threat of humanity. So we all are humans, we all are connected with one divine source with whom we feel connected. Don't we? Yes, we do, at different levels. So in this age and time when we are amazingly connected world today, what is most important to know? That here is a text, here is an epic, which predates any religion, any organized religion. So Bhagavad Gita as in itself predates any organized religion. Around 5,450 years ago, because Jesus came about 3,000, around 1,300 or max 500, Islam came, and Hinduism came before that around 3,300 as an organized religion. But Bhagavad Gita, when the preaching happened, amidst all chaos and confusion, the clarity was brought forward by a visionary and a master of yogic practices, who was at the pinnacle of spiritual potential, named Sri Krishna. He imparted the most profound and the most ancient method and technique of meditation, the Brahma Vidya, to those who were just confused, just like you and me. So this Bhagavad Gita that we are talking about here today is beyond any religion. It is not a religious book. It has got nothing to do with any sect of belief, creed, caste, color, or any form of religion at all. So that's very clear to us, because it predates any organized religion. What is most significant here is to realize that Sri Krishna himself, in this time when people become very assertive in order to make a point, in this battlefield, when there is a fight, it is not about the two groups of people from a diverse school of thought. They are from the family. And the family here having a quarrel about dethroning a specific person and trying to capture it, usurp the rights of the Rakshas people. So the battle between two groups here comes from the very intricate thread of family, because they're all family members, and it is so much so that it is so bewildering to the person who is supposed to fight as to what he shall do. So in this battle, in this battlefield, Krishna himself emerges as the savior to those who were following the path of righteousness. And for that proof, he had to take a different avatar altogether, because no one could actually, gauge him through what he was capable of, who actually he was. So there are many masters in the world today. So it is great that you have a Bhagavan Krishna or Krishna at that time. But my dear friends, to tell you the truth, even Krishna was criticized. He was lampooned by so many, but he was calm and composed. He was totally unruffled by anything that happened outside. He was just very calm and composed. He was steady. So here, Krishna himself, having had 16 spiritual attributes, like they call Sola Kala, he was endowed with those spiritual virtues and attributes, though he had to work just like you and me. And most of them could not understand who he was. So there are so many great people around you in your life, but we don't understand their importance. They try to preach us something which they feel could transform our lives, but we turn our deaf ear because we are so much engrossed in pleasing our own senses or what we think is most appropriate. So there is a wisdom of knowledge, there is a stream of knowledge that descends down, but are we receptive enough to be able to grasp it? That is the big question. So in this battlefield, the first thing that Krishna talks about, especially in the Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter, that he says that there is a tree, and this tree is not any tree. This tree is very special. And he says that the root of this tree is upward. It goes up high in the sky. And the root of this tree, which should have been ideally, tucked away beneath the soil, is actually turned upside down and faces upward. The roots go upward. So he said, Urdhvamula madasakam masvattam prayurabhyam chamdansi yasya parnani jastam vedasa vedavita. So Sri Krishna said that Urdhvamula madasakam asvattam prayurabhyam. He said Urdhvamula, it means that the Urdhva, like earth and Urdhva. So it signifies many things. It's like one shlok of Bhagavad Gita could have multiple ways of looking at it, could have multiple facets of reality which could be manifested through your own mechanism, like the way you want to understand it. It is so profound and at the same time so relevant even after 5,000 years, which predates any organized religion. That is the significance and importance of the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. That really blows away entire spectrum of religion, for that matter. So he said that Urdhva. What is Urdhva? What is Ardha? Let's talk about it. Well, Urdhva, like the very ascending order through which we feel elevated. So even if we are talking great about a specific event which went as per the schedule, and we are really talking about it, we are hamming it up, we are kind of deliberating on all the facts and all the rules of it, how everything came together in order to manifest the event as it was, which turned out to be absolutely beautiful. Now, in this glorification of the event, what happened was there was a bit of exaggeration of the event. Okay, it did not go with the flow. So what cannot go with the flow is not Urdhva, is not ascending to higher consciousness. But the very seed of that, the Urdhva Mula, with the roots of it goes upward, where the trees that you see around you is rooted into the soil. The Krishna himself says that I am that seed. I am the one which manifests in the seed, which also had the budding desire. So I'm also the desire. And not only that, Sri Krishna himself clarifies in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 15th chapter especially, that none of it, whatever it is me either. So it is kind of a paradox that elucidates one thing very clearly, and that is that Sri Krishna, he himself says that I'm into everything and everything is into me, but I'm devoid of everything and everything around me. I'm not that which you think. But though the tree has manifested in different facets of reality, someone hanging to one branch, other person is hanging to other branch, thinking that the branch they are hanging on to is the tree itself. So you see today, number of people hanging on to their way of life and the way of their thinking that what they're holding on to is the best thing in the world. But little we know that what we are holding on is this little trunk of a tree, or maybe a budding which is just sprouting, and we are just hanging on to it, depending on the vibration we are operating from. So here he said, Urdhva Mula. If you want to know, and if you want to ascend your vibration to higher consciousness, the most important thing is that you have to go to the root. That's what it means, such a beautiful and profound at the same time. The root, that the seed is Urdhva itself. Don't think it is the one that you see beneath the soil is exactly the same analogy as the one that you feel is high above in the sky. There's no difference. There's no any distinctive difference as such. It is just a matter of perception. That's what Sri Krishna is trying to put across here, that whatever you envision as something that is tucked down into the soil is exactly the same, which could be beyond the physical perception of reality, which eyes cannot see, which the ear cannot hear. That's what he is trying to put across. And he also says that if you know the seed of it, which is Urdhva, you will also know the leaves. You also know the trunks. You'll know everything in all, and all will be revealed to you because you have known the one thing, the Urdhva, the ascending order from which everything there is happens to be exactly in the same manner where I, as a Krishna, pervade. So look at the magnificence of description of Bhagavad Gita here in describing and revealing the knowledge and the wisdom that Sri Krishna tried to propagate through the message of Bhagavad Gita in the 15th chapter.